everybody, Althamir here, and today we are going to be going over the PTS patch notes for week 1 of update 45. So let's just dive right into it. Don't really know how big these patch notes are, so let's just go. Obviously, there's 2 new dungeons for Fallen Banners, Exiled Redoubt and Lepsiclusa, as covered in part 3 of the live stream reveal. Now, keep in mind, that is not the typical global reveal we get. That's not happening anymore. They're not doing that anymore. The reveal for the first season's happening in April, so keep that one in mind. All right, so Exiled Redoubt and Lepsiclusa are 4-player dungeons which can be reached via Westweald and Hughes Bane. Exiled Redoubt's entrance is in eastern Westweald near Gray's Hollow. Lepsiclusa's entrance is on the docks of Appa's Landing. Both dungeons include a normal version in addition to a veteran version. Each dungeon features challenging hard modes as well. There are unique item sets, including 2 new Undaunted Monster Masks, only available in the dungeons. Unique achievement awards are available for completing the dungeons, including a unique skin called the Tactician's Gold Lattice skin, which is available for those who have completed both dungeons and get the achievement Fallen Banner's Delver. 2 unique mementos called the Haunted Mirror of Introspection and Dust of Conqueror's Flame are available on at least veteran difficulty, as long as you complete veteran difficulty. Unique dice called the Exiled Golden Rod is available for those who complete the Fallen Banner Scout achievement. There's 2 new homes. Shattered Mirror Isle, Scintillating Islands, and the skeletons of long-forgotten beasts float amid Miramore's luminous skies. Enterprising architects step through a shattered mirror portal in Fargrave and finesse this osseous mass into a dazzling dimensional home. It's a notable home. It will be purchased for later, but is available to test. Now, Castle Skinnergrad, you are being invited to be the caretaker to maintain and decorate Castle Skinnergrad as he rides out to the sport to support his local citizens. So if you have played, like they said in the live stream, if you have played Oblivion, then you know Castle Skinnergrad. It's actually pretty good. There's some new furnishings as well. Not gonna really go over those, but you guys can see them. There's, base game. We have map improvements. The team has been looking for ways to improve ESO's in-game map with the intention of making it easier to understand and parse for both new players and veteran players alike. While there are still more changes we wish to implement in future packages, the first patch of quality of life improvements include the following. The Tamriel view of map will now only show 1 way shrine per zone. The Tamriel view of map will now only show favorited and primary homes. You may still favorite as many homes as you like. Dungeons and Trials will no longer be shown by default on the Tamriel view of the map, but can still be toggled on. The Tamriel, Blackreach, and Uberus views of the map now have been catered filter list. Have a more catered filter list. Jesus, I can read. The Way Shrines filter has been split into the following filters: Way Shrines, Dungeon Trials, Homes. If you have a focused quest, the quest's ultimate location will now show on the Tamriel and Uberus maps. If the ultimate location is on the ring of the Uberus, the location will be shown on the appropriate symbolic location like Clockwork City. All right. These are the disguises where you can get them, the quest name, and these will be converted to collectibles, which is true. It's pretty cool. They're all in the menu now. I already logged in and tested that. Let's see. Antiquity lead messaging improvements. Updates to initial mount speed. They increased the base mount speed bonus to 42%, up from 15%. Major Gallop is now Gallop and counts as a minor buff instead of a major buff. This multiplicative bonus of Gallop is now 15% instead of 30%. Okay. All right. I mean, we'll have to see. I still think that mount speed that you put into it should probably maybe be account wide. I mean, I don't know. That's the most pain in the ass thing about being about alts. I mean, honestly. The green crafting trees slots improvements. The following 9 crafting champion stars no longer need to be slotted for your benefit. And there they are right there. I will say that I have tested this, and while I do love it, it makes things so much easier where I don't have to keep on switching and switching and switching. There aren't many, at least for the way I play, there aren't many viable, slottable green stars left. Again, that's just the way I play. So hopefully that they'll be working on it much like they did with the red and the blue star tree, where there's things to click on and additions and stuff like that. Let's hope that that comes into play. Increased Mundus Stone visibility on character and inventory UI screens. We want to better convey the value of having a Mundus Stone and where to find Mundus Stones. To that end, we have added a reminder about Mundus Stones to the level 10 level up rewards, updated the Mundus Stone help entry to be clear and more direct about you, to direct you where to find them, added discrete sections for Mundus Stone boons on both character and inventory UI screens. If you reach level 20 without an active Mundus Stone, the text here turns red to suggest you should acquire one. That's cool. Okay, prologue quest: A Guild in Crisis. Join forces with Prince Azah of Sentinel to confront the ominous resurgence of the Worm Cult, whose shadowy attacks using devices known as Soul Reapers now threaten the Fighters and Mages Guild. Gather old allies and delve into the darkness to uncover the horrifying truth behind their return. I did do this quest, and it is rather shocking, to be honest. I think it's a really good quest. Certain parts about it are kind of sorry to say, but it's a good quest. Fun to play. I suggest you guys go in and test it. And it is spoiler, obviously, though. I mean, it is an introduction into what I think is going to be the first season. All right. Players' response options, this is honestly kind of sick. Where it's kind of like the role playing is kind of back, where you can change who you are. You can be kind, you can be grim, you can be merciful, ruthless, joker, you can be flirty. Now, what I've noticed is that all these options aren't available in all encounters. Let me see if I can read it. There are now opportunities in some quests that provide a choice, so it's only some quests, as how you want to roleplay a character, known as player response options. Now, the one that seems to be happening a lot is kind of like kind, and I think would be ruthless or basically pissed off. Those are the ones that seem to come up a lot. Or maybe it's grim. Either way, it's angry response. So I actually really like this. This is kind of cool. It really does bring in where you can change your character, and if you have alts and different and other characters on your account, those guys can be different. Maybe one of your vestiges is kind, where another one's ruthless. Maybe one's a joker. So it's kind of cool. Reaper Strikes, new worm cult themed encounters. Strange new devices, known as Soul Reapers, have begun to surface across Tamriel, coinciding with the resurgence of the worm cult. Engaging in these events to rescue their sacrifices and thwart the worm cult's growing threat. Successfully completing Reaper Strikes will unlock the ability to purchase a unique furnishing from the achievement vendor and collect fragments to acquire a new skill style. Keep an eye out for these Reaper strikes in locations where dark fissures once appeared throughout the base game of Tamriel. Now, I did actually do these. Granted, I did them. I did test this out before I read these patch notes because I'm smart like that. But to be completely honest, I'm underwhelmed by them. Um, they don't really, besides the unique furnishing and the new skill style, there really isn't any reason to be doing it. It's basically just dark fizzers, which the boss that drops in the Reaper strikes doesn't really give anything great. So you kind of lose out on that. I don't really see it worth farming. Maybe you do it once, and depending on what the skill style is that you get, if it's even worth farming. But sadly, I don't think these are that fantastic. The question I have is what happens to dark fissures? Do they disappear when you finish the main quest, and then gets turned into this when you finish, the tutorial? If you never do the tutorial, the tutorial, god damn it. If you never do the prologue, do dark fissures not disappear at all? So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. This goes with this, I believe. So I don't know. I was underwhelmed. Okay, so event, the crime wave mini event. The secret ingredient is indeed crime in this new mini event added to the pool of possible surprise events starting with update 45. Crime Wave focuses on criminal behavior in Tamriel and provides a handful of devious rewards. During the event, the number of daily fences interactions increases by 100%, and fencing is 25% more profitable. Additionally, Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild daily quests provide an additional box of their normal rewards, except for the repeatable one. Furthermore, the activities of pickpocketing, theft from safe boxes, and looting thieves' troves have a chance to drop a pouch of ill-gotten goods. The pouches can contain saleable contraband, furnishings, Dark Brotherhood or Thieves Guild consumables, and a new consumable item to improve your Legerdemain skill, and a very small chance to find a 1 million gold bounty pardon. Your chance of finding a pouch of ill-gotten goods is proportional to your current level of bounty and heat. That is, an upstanding citizen has very low chance of getting one, but a fugitive on the run has a much better chance of getting one. There are no event tickets for this event. So it's kind of like the PvE version of a Battleground weekend event or something. I did test this, and while it is a fantastic way to make some gold, it's also a very fantastic way to fill up anybody who needs those achievements of selling some stolen stuff to get those, what is it called, the achievements for selling stuff in the city. You know, if you need those achievements, it's a great way to get that. An absolutely great way to get that, to be honest with you. While I did find it to be fun, I didn't particularly see any reason to grind it, but I'm not exactly huge into crime in this game, like I was in Skyrim and some other ones. So I don't know. It is fun. I will say that. I mean, it was fun in retrospect. Anyway, when I did it, it was kind of like meh, but good way to make some gold and good way to get that achievement in those cities that you need to fill out the larcenous achievement. So, yeah. First stages of console add-on support. Now, for those of you who watched the part, I think it's part two. Um, Console add-ons are something that are coming in the future. They're not coming with update 45, but they're giving add-on developers the tools they need when working to support their add-on for console players. That way, when they do drop, they're ready to go. So That's pretty cool for you console users. I'm not a console user, but it's pretty cool for you guys. All right, there's some known issues. Some sets are currently showing the wrong item set uh, tooltips. All right, so combat. All right, crouch. When successfully transitioning from detected to hidden after crouching, the effect that considers you in the sneak state is now visible on your effect bar. This effect can be hovered over in the character sheet to read what sneak does, rather than needing to open the help tab and searching for what it does. This is one of the few times that improved visibility isn't a deterrent on your sneaking about. Fixed an issue where some channeled abilities could be used while crouching without channeling crouch. The following abilities will now actively remove stealth and invisibility upon activating them, rather than when they complete. Stone Fist and Stone Fist initial cast time, Crystal Shard and Crystal Fragments cast time, Deathstroke and Morphs, Soul Shred and Soul Tether, Radial Sweep and Morphs. Well, you guys can read that. You guys aren't like stupid or anything. I mean, I don't know. Probably a good idea. I don't. Whatever. Personally, I don't really see a change in that. I don't know. Doesn't really affect me either way. Fix an issue where the following abilities did not influence tooltip related to their effects: Fiery Banner and Rapid Rock. The following effects have been hard coded to be easier and quicker to calculate, resulting in some minor adjustments to order of operations and combat calculations. The 10% damage reduction all players have. The 10% increased damage done with heavy attacks against off-balance targets. This change is mainly being done for performance reasons to make it ever so slightly harder to reach the effect limit while simultaneously reducing the weight of combat calculations slightly. In doing so, these percent bonuses will interact slightly differently with the other effects, as they will now be bundled with other hard-coded bonuses that the server handles. Most notably, the 10% reduced damage taken effect will become slightly stronger than before. Since we recently fixed other damage taken effects from being additive, resulting in a loss of damage reduction, we're less concerned with this increase in effectiveness. All right, whatever. We'll have to see how much. I mean, it probably won't be noticeable. Let's see what we got for class changes, and they got nothing for class changes. Holy crap! You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so Dragon Knight, they fix an issue with Ardent Flame. Sorcerer, they fix an issue with Crystal Weapon and fix an issue with Incase. Daedric Summoning, they fixed an issue with the Storm Atronach, and Dual Wield, they fixed an issue with the Dual Wield Expert passive. But that's really it. Nothing for Necromancer. Don't even tell me that you guys think Necromancer's good now. You're like, hey, we gave them these buffs. They're good. No, they're not. For a class that does not have a burst option anymore, that's a magic option, we're forced into this stamina burst option, I think, or we're forced into scribing for our burst. This is just stupid. Please tell me you're not done fixing this, because Q1, okay, quarter one was the combat DLC. That's where all the combat changes happen. Now they don't anymore because everything's changed. So with this uncertainty, where in the world do our combat changes come in? When does Necromancer get some love? When does Templar get some love? I mean, it's disappointing to say the least. And again, to echo what I said 4 seconds ago, I really hope that they don't think that they're done with Necromancer and that Necromancer is good now, because it's not. It's still very clunky. It still has abilities that aren't really worth slotting in a lot of different situations. I'm looking at you, Skeletal Summons, and I'm looking at you, Tether. You know, those Siphon and the damage Tether, Siphon, and Skeletal Summons are just not worth slotting in a lot of different situations due to positioning issues, corpse issues, and all, you know, and targeting issues. It's just it's unless you're doing a one-on-one fight, in my opinion, you know, with a lot of bodies that, you know, okay, let me restart that sentence here. Unless you're in a one-on-one fight with a boss that doesn't move a lot, and there's a lot of corpses that somehow end up at his feet, because God knows Necromancer doesn't have a lot of those anymore, then those things are worth slotting. Other than that, you have a mobile boss or just the regular corpse mechanics, which means not a lot of corpses are at the boss's feet, or you're in PvP or Battlegrounds, they are just not worth slotting. That's why I said to in a very annoying rate that giving Necromancer the savagery and the spell weapon power buffs meant absolutely dick. Because the class still needs help. And no one, everybody laughed at me when I said it. They're like, oh, it'll help. And then now that they're there, they realize, oh no, the abilities that they put them on still suck ass. Well, no kidding. Because we still had those abilities. I was still able to get those buff in other places. I still prefer to get those buff in those other places because one, Necromancer needs a sticky dot. Where's our sticky dot? The only dots that I have, anybody who has half a brain, which unfortunately also includes NPCs, can just get out of my dots. That's not good. I need a dot to stick to someone. Like Entropy. You know, it's not a great dot. You know, like this, like Soul Trap, like the scribing abilities. I have to rely on scribing abilities for my dots because it actually sticks to the target. I don't know. Maybe it's a way to make scribing more viable. I don't know. Sorry to go on a rant there, but this is it for combat and class changes. Then where are our class changes? I guess we'll have to wait till whenever the next season comes out. See, this is the problem with the uncertainty, okay? This is the absolute gigantic problem I have with this. You know, it's just we don't know where all these are coming from now. We were so used to everything, and the uncertainty in a game that a lot of us are already kind of like on the fence about isn't that great. All right, so Grimoire's Banner Bearer fix an issue where the following script effects could be removed from the caster of the ability when an ally under the influence of that ability left the area. So that's fixed. Fantastic. I'm super happy about it. The following sets have seen adjustments to their stat line bonuses to grant stats more applicable to their 5-piece effects and gameplay. So they changed a lot of those. Arms of Reliquin is damage, penetration, damage. Kind of a nerf a little bit, maybe. So they changed it from crit to damage and penetration. So it's great for PvP, but not for PvE. Did they just change Reliquin to a PvP set? Why the hell would they do that? I'm confused. Destructive Mage, I don't know. Do you guys understand? I don't have Reliquin, obviously, and I don't do trials. But, oh, my friend's gonna be pissed. Destructive Mage went from max magicka to damage. Way of Fire went from stamina to max health. Poisonous Serpent went from max stamina to damage and crit. I just slapped my mic. All right, a lot of fixed issue, fantastic fixed inking. Overland sets Way of Fire. This set now only activates off light and heavy attacks rather than any weapon attack. Okay. We're tuning down how much damage this set can passively deal by preventing it from activating off residual effects in hopes it makes less oppressive it makes it less oppressive in PvP environments. I don't see. This is the thing. Like, I don't really PvP anymore. So I mean, was Way of Fire like a huge deal? I thought Rush of Agony was the big thing. So why does Way of Fire, a set that I keep forgetting even exists at all, being toned down because it's oppressive in PvP, and yet Rush of Agony is just there still? I mean, not like Wheeler and Cypher were getting destroyed by Way of Fire. I mean, come on. This is stupid. All right. That's just, oh god, some of the decisions just doesn't make sense. New dungeon sets, which I went over in another video. The ones I still want to test are the ones that do heavy attacks. So this one here, which is dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack, places an electrical charge on yourself and below your enemy. Every 1 second, both charges explode in a 4-meter blast, each dealing shock damage to enemies hit. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds and scales off of your weapon and spell damage. And then where's the other one? This one here. Dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack creates a 3-meter poison boulder. After 1.2 seconds, the boulder rolls forward, dealing poison damage to the first enemy hit and creating a 6-meter pool of poison for 5 seconds, dealing poison damage and applying the poison status effect. For each enemy inside, it can only occur every 20 seconds. I'm just curious about these two sets. So those are the two sets I'm going to be probably putting on and testing. As for, there was one set. Let's see. Where is it? There's one set someone was telling me about. Yeah, this one here. Lamp Knight's Art. Stamina damage. This gives 100k offensive penetration, but it reduces your damage by 46%. What? I don't understand. So essentially, it's like no one has any armor and stuff like that, but I don't know. I mean, isn't having too much offensive penetration bad? Like I don't know. Like this is one of the sets that's probably just gonna require more testing. Because on paper, you look at it and you're like, okay, kind of see what they were going for here, but it requires more testing to see what it does. You know, when you have certain amount of crit resist and certain amount. So if you have really high armor, like 33, 34, whatever, like, or you even over the cap, and you have really high crit resist, is this, going to help you? Is it better just to go, damage? Like, I mean, yeah. So it will be a test. I mean, you also have classes out there like Arcanist that already have offensive penetration that's really easy to get high. So what does it mean for them? For them, I don't know. Yeah, and why do you make sets that help ball groups? When you cleanse a negative effect from yourself or an ally, restore 13 ultimate to the target. You gotta be kidding me. That's basically a ball group set. When you break free, gain 100% momentum speed for 7 seconds. This is gonna, again, why? You guys make no sense sometimes, man. Let's see, anything worth noting? God knows I'm probably gonna miss something. Alright, fix an audio cue. Rune-bound tomes from the Battleground merchant now properly bind on pickup. Adding additional flag locations have been added to both the Cot and the Crazy King Battleground. Integrated, so I mean, nothing is really, they didn't really address a lot of the Battleground issues, it seems like, which concerns me. Means Battleground still might be broken. I don't know. Furniture added. Let's see, Endeavors and Golden Pursuits. They fixed issues with that. Fixed issues with some quests. So it's kind of a, I don't know. I don't know. In terms of combat, very underwhelming. Very, very disappointing. Some other things that's really cool. The new houses are cool. The map changes are cool. The changes to the starter zones actually look really good. I really love it. I can't wait for them to do it to other zones. So that's really nice. The new dungeons actually, story wise, look really good, but like no changes in combat, which is dumb. Some sets that look good on paper but need testing, and who knows. It's, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Leave me know. Let me know in the comments below. What are you excited about these? Combat wise, how do you feel? Are you with me? Are you not? Let me know. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.